was killed in the same manner like Mr. Albert Ojwang. And Mr. Speaker, he was brought, the suspect was brought to justice because of this process of accountability. We know that there is a process of accountability on the case of Baby Pendo. We also know, Mr. Speaker, that the murder of my friend Wakili Kimani in 2016, again, those who performed that act were brought to justice, Mr. Speaker. I want to promise the family of Mr. Albert Ojwang, the people of Kenya, and this august House, that, Mr. Speaker, every effort will be put, Mr. Speaker, every resource that is required, where the ministry is required to provide resources, Mr. Speaker, for these investigations, and any support the investigators will require, we will do our best to make sure that, Mr. Speaker, justice is served to this family. Mr. Speaker, I want to bring to the attention of this House of Article 245 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, the 245(4) of the Constitution is very clear, Mr. Speaker, that the Cabinet Secretary responsible for police service, which in this situation is myself, Mr. Speaker, may lawfully give direction to the Inspector General with respect to any matter of policy for the National Police Service. Mr. Speaker, as a result of this provision, we have enough legal framework, we have policy framework, Mr. Speaker, that as the police service are under proper guidance, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that this issue of police brutality is dealt with. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to read the proviso, Mr. Speaker, to that very important provision, that Mr. Speaker, in respect, but no person, including the CS, may give direction to the Inspector General with respect to investigation of any particular offense or offences. Mr. Speaker, the enforcement of the law against any particular person or persons. And 3, Mr. Speaker, the employment, assignment, promotion, suspension, of dismissal of any member of National Police Service. Mr. Speaker, we all know that because of our robust constitutional order, the independence of institutions is an extremely important value in our Constitution. And as a result, Mr. Speaker, to insulate the National Police Service from interference from the executive, even the President, Mr. Speaker, is barred from giving directions to Inspector General of Police in regard to any investigations that are going on in a particular matter. So my position, Mr. Speaker, is confined in law to the place where I give either policy directions that must be put in writing under Article 245 of the Constitution, and, Mr. Speaker, also to provide support, financial support, Mr. Speaker, and other resources that the Parliament, Mr. Speaker, has also the responsibility to provide these resources through the relevant institutions. So I sympathize with the position of Honorable Eddie. Mr. Speaker, I agree with him that something has to be done. But, Mr. Speaker, he has asked a very pertinent question as to who is the culpable person through my eyes. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, the Constitution did not give me the eyes to see who is culpable. Those eyes have been given to the investigatory authorities under 245 of the Constitution, and that is why you rightly invited me, but also invited the independent institutions, Mr. Speaker. I'm confident, and this is the promise I give to the people of Kenya, that we will do everything within the ministry to ensure that there is no interference, there is no shielding of any individual, there is no cover-up, Mr. Speaker, from the part of the executive, and that, Mr. Speaker, that the attorney, that Inspector General of the Police and the Independent Police Oversight Authority, which again, Mr. Speaker, in Article Section 4 of the IPOA Act, have been given independence, Mr. Speaker, in all matters of investigation regarding matters related to police brutality and police Mr. Speaker, crimes committed by police officers. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, should questions arise that touch on policy issues, that touch on the ministry's policy contribution, Mr. Speaker, I am more than happy to respond. But I am glad to note that, Mr. Speaker, we have with us the Inspector General of Police, who exercises that independent authority, Mr. Speaker. We have here with the IPOA, and, Mr. Speaker, we have agreed, Mr. Speaker, that the Inspector General of Police is going to therefore delve into the matter itself of what really happened, so that this House can get the proper information. And then, as a Cabinet Secretary, I will continue with my oversight responsibilities from the ministry side, with policy directions, and to respond to this House on those issues that are policy in nature. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, therefore, I would like to invite the Inspector General of Police to first give us really an account of what really happened. Mr. Speaker, let it be known, not just to this House, but to the country, that in the same manner that this House is demanding accountability, is the same manner I demand accountability from the Inspector General of Police, not to myself, but to the people of Kenya through this office, because this is the office of the CS that in most cases comes to this House and many forums to respond to the issues that are happening in the Inspector General's office. The same way many of you received the news of the death of Mr. Albert Ojwang is the same way I received with a lot of pain, Mr. Speaker. And I would never want this issue to continue, because I sat, Mr. Speaker, where Senator Cheruiyot, Majority Leader, sits. And I sat behind there, Mr. Speaker, where Senator Chuto sits in the last Parliament. And, Mr. Speaker, there were cases of police brutality, including of arresting our colleagues in this House. My name and my report is on the record of this House, in the hands of this House, really advocating for good behavior among the police officers. And I think, Mr. Speaker, even as we push it from the executive, I expect the same support from this House as we push on.
Order, honorable senators. Mr. May Speaker, the CS be heard in silence. Conclude, honorable CS.
This accountability, Mr. Speaker, is not negotiable. It is not debatable. Mr. Speaker, we expect every national police officer who was involved in this matter to be brought to justice expeditiously. Mr. Speaker, may I now invite the IG to make a statement.
Senators will have an opportunity to speak. Allow Senator Sifuna, you cannot tell me no. You are trading on very dangerous ground, Senator Sifuna. Allow the IG, all the senators, you'll have an opportunity to speak. Allow the IG to take to the floor. IG, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. I'm here before this House courtesy of the invite that was done yesterday to address the...
Honorable senators, the minority leader and the majority leader approach the chair. Senator Sifuna, do not approach the chair. Minority leader and the majority leader to approach the chair.
You are watching Glory Wonders TV. You are watching Glory Wonders TV. You are watching Glory Wonders TV. You are watching Glory Wonders TV.
Order, honorable senators, please let us take our seats. Let's take our seats, honorable senators. Senator Boni. Senator Boni and Senator Funandi. Okay, honorable senators, we can now proceed. So, honorable senators, we had the IG on his feet before we started the consultations. I'm happy the consultations are now over. The IG, you may now take the stand. Now, honorable senators, you will have an opportunity to ask questions to all these. So, IG, you may proceed, please. Senator Bone, just approach the chair.
Listen to us. We want the chair of our committee to sit there because you don't want to listen to us. Just listen to us.
You will fire him. He'll be available for.
Order, honorable senators. Order, honorable senators. Order, honorable senators. Now, honorable senators, this matter has affected everybody. It did not affect just a single senator. It has affected everybody. Everybody is in pain. So let us not try to show the world that it is only an individual in this chamber that is in pain. Honorable senators, the CS has made his opening statement. He'll be open to interrogation by honorable senators. Now, we may elect to pursue this matter in these two options. Having given his statement, his opening statement, we interrogate him and dispense with him. Senator Sifuna. Senator Sifuna. Honorable senators, we are not here for TikTok bites. We are here on a very serious matter. Okay?
Try to keep your cool.
You are watching Glory Wonders TV.
You are watching Glory Wonders TV.
Litein machinery kotinye machinishek cheboto bosho mill, chef cutters, water pumps, power generators, power saw, power tools, woodworkings koboto tuguk alak chechang chebo machinishek. Imukakse itinye machinit kora nekakong'emak mengokonin kerermetiet amu mwae Litein machinery kole tinye walutik chebo kaimutik cheibune kosubkei ak machinishek cheiboishen. Tinye Litein machinery tinga ngoen bandek kero mengobar biik rubet amun mamiten tinga ole miten. Angot imache agetugul en chuton itite Litein machinery ak inyorchigei kiy agetugul neimache. Litein machinery kemiten en nganasetab Litein ole keregei ak National Petrol. Imuche ibirwe simet eng 07 19 19 42 42 07 19 19 42 42 anan 01 11 222 263 01 11 222 263. Litein machinery inyoru machinishek cheititotin.
Whatever is the remaining minutes, that we can decide to make full utilization of the few minutes remaining, or we can go back to where we've just been a few minutes ago. IG, you may proceed to take the stand.
Mr. Speaker, sir, once again, thank you very much. As I said from the beginning, I'm here courtesy of the invite to this House so that I can be able to address on these grave matters that have actually captured the attention of our country. The National Police Service deeply regrets the unfortunate events that resulted in the death of Mr. Albert Ojwang while in police custody. The service extends its sincere condolences to the family and loved ones of the deceased during this difficult time. In line with our commitment to accountability and transparency, the service pledges full cooperation and support to the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, as they undertake a thorough and independent investigation into the matter. In view of the above, the service wishes to provide the following chronology of events leading to the arrest of Mr. Albert Ojwang. The summary of incidents. On 4th June 2025, the Director of Criminal Investigations, DCI, received a formal complaint from Mr. Eliud Langat, the Deputy Inspector General in charge of the Kenya Police Service. The complaint alleged that false and malicious information had been published against him in the X, that is formerly Twitter, social media platform. The posts claimed he was involved in corruption within the National Police Service. Specifically, the published information alleged that Mr. Eliud Langat had strategically placed his most trusted officers in charge of Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, in DCI desks, occurrence book, that is the OB, desks and traffic chiefs, in order to control both revenue streams and intelligence flow. Additionally, another post depicted him alongside Mr. Joseph Chirchir, who is a senior officer stationed in Nairobi Area Command, under the caption, EACC investigating top cop after purchase of $2.6 million home in Dubai, accompanied by the DIG's photograph under the phrase, Eliud Langat Mafia Police. These claims were found to be defamatory and unsubstantiated and of significant public concern, thereby necessitating immediate investigations under the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act number 5 of 2018. The Director DCI immediately assigned the case to the cybercrime investigation officers, composed of Corporal Abdurrahman Hussein, Police Constable Dennis Kanyoni, Police Constable Samuel Kamau, and the Police Constable Milton Mwansi. The same day, Mr. Hilary Mutai, Senior Superintendent of Police, who is the officer in charge Serious Crimes Unit, domiciled at the DCI, and the Police Constable Milton Mwansi visited Vigilance House, that is the police headquarters, to record the complainant's statement. To verify the claims, the investigating team wrote a letter to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the EACC, to confirm whether Mr. Eliud Langat was under any investigation. Similarly, a request was made to the Communications Authority of Kenya, CAK, in writing to provide registrations, details, and preserve posts associated with the X account handle at Pixel Pioneerai, account name Pixel Pioneer. On 4th June 2025, CAK responded confirming that the handle was active and had 13,400 followers. On 5th June 2025, the EACC responded in writing confirming that Mr. Eliud Langat was not under investigation by the Commission. On the same day, the investigating team requested additional information from the CAK regarding another X account handle at Kevin Mwicheles, account name Kevin Mwicheles. The CAK responded with a registered details and relevant posts of the account. Following the evidence analysis, the investigating team concluded that, number one, The EACC had not initiated any investigations against Mr. Eliud Rangat, contrary to the social media claims. Number 2, CAK reports linked the post directly to the identified suspects. Number 3, there existed a prima facie case warranting the arrest of the individuals responsible for the false publication, contrary to Section 22, subsection 1 of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act number 5 of 2018. On 5th June 2025, the investigating team traveled to Kisii County and reported to Kenyenya Police Station and booked themselves at OB number 23/05/06/2025 at 12:55 hours. They were assisted by Police Constable Fannis, who was nominated by the Sub-County Criminal Investigations Officer to accompany the team. They arrested Kevin Moide at his homestead. He was booked at Kenyenya Police Station, file OB number 25/05/06 of 2025, and later transferred to DCI headquarters, file occurrence book number 25/05/06 of 2025. At DCI headquarters, Kevin Moide provided a statement and disclosed the involvement of 4 other individuals, one being Albert Ojwang, now the deceased, Dorcas Mawia, Douglas Maligiri, and Peter Bogwa. He also chaired their respective X-account handles. The team's analysis of Albert Ochieng's X-account revealed that he had posted similar defamatory content, and consequently, on 7th June 2025, the investigation team traveled to Homa Bay County and reported to Mawego Police Station. They were provided with 3 officers from the station by the officer commanding the station, the local OCS, to accompany them, and subsequently, Albert Ojwang was arrested at the booked file OB number 09/07/06/2025. His departure for Nairobi was recorded file OB number 11/07/06/2025 in the same police station. The team made a stop at Narok Town for refreshments, during which the suspect requested water, a bottle of soda, and a biscuit. They arrived at Central Police Station in Nairobi at approximately 21:17 hours. At 21:24 hours, Mr. Albert Ojwang contacted his wife via mobile number 0758 08 1612 to inform her of his safe arrival. Chief Inspector Taram, the officer commanding station, that is Central Police Station, was contacted via mobile number 0722 919 880 and authorized the booking. At PC Mohammed Rashid, Hero Abdullahi booked the suspect into the cells after confirming his normal physical and mental state, file OB number 136/07/6/2025, at 21:35 hours. In the early morning of 8th June 2025, it was reported by the officers manning the report office desk at Central Police Station, Nairobi, that they found Mr. Albert Ojwang unconscious.
Litain machinery kotinye machini sege cheboto bosho mill, chef cutters, water bumps, power generators, power saw, power tools, woodworkings koboto tuguk alage chechang chebo machinishek. Imukakse itinye machinit kora nekakong'emak mengokonin kerermetiet amu mwae Litain machinery kole tinye walutik chebo kaimutik cheibune kosubkei ak machinishek cheiboishen. Tinye Litain machinery tinga
integrity of the process and ensure full accountability. The following actions were undertaken by the Inspector General. Number one, the interdiction of the officer commanding Central Police Station, interdiction of the duty officer on duty in the night of the incident, the interdiction of the cell sentry on duty during the time, the interdiction of all the officers who are on duty at the report office that night, ongoing review to identify and interdict any additional officers involved at the time. On 10th June 2025, a post-mortem examination of the late Mr. Albert Ojwang was conducted at the Nairobi funeral home. The autopsy was carried out by the following team of pathologists. Number one is Dr. Media, representing the government, Dr. Joroge, representing the government, Dr. Odul, serving as an overseer on behalf of the family, Dr. Mutuma, representing the family, Dr. Degwa, representing the independent medical legal unit. Following the examination of the body, they unanimously concluded that the cause of death was blunt force trauma, as evidenced by the following findings. Number one, head injuries, including internal bleeding into the head, features of the neck pressure, suggestive of compression or strangulation, multiple superficial injuries on the upper lips, lower lips, and trunk. The postmortem was witnessed and documented by the officers from the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, the homicide team from the DCI, and the DCI forensic experts. Investigations into the matter remains ongoing under the direction of IPOA. The National Police Service remains committed to transparency, accountability, and the protection of human rights. All relevant information and the support are being provided to IPOA to ensure an impartial investigations. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. That is the information that I wish to provide to this House. Thank you.
Thank you, IG. Honorable Senators, you've heard from the CS in charge of Interior and National Administration. We've also heard the IG giving an account of how this young man met his death. Now, at this juncture, I will allow intervention from honorable senators. Now, we need to agree on how we are moving forward, because on my dashboard, I have all of you on my dashboard. Yes,
Chair, I'm requesting if IPOA they can give us what is the position so far or what they have done.
Well, so honorable senators, because this is your house. I'm here to make sure you conduct the business in an orderly manner, but this is your house. During the unfortunate incident that we've just witnessed, there was a school of thought that you'd wish to hear one witness, cross-examine that witness, dispense with that witness. Then there was another school of thought that in the interest of time, we hear all the parties that have been summoned to the Senate. And then thereafter, we allow honorable senators to shoot questions. Because I may not have a question to the honorable CS, but my question may be directed to IPOA, for example. So we may agree to hear all the parties that are before us, and then if you take to the floor, you direct the question to the party that you feel your question would adequately be addressed. Could we have IPOA on the stand?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Now, IPOA, just to indicate that keep it brief.
Okay.
We are here on a limited time.
Okay.
So keep it brief so that the other parties have an opportunity to speak, and also we give ample time to the honorable senators to interact with your statement. Proceed. Yes, Senator Vero.
Need the mic. Honorable Speaker, I just need a clarification from you, Chair, whether it's possible to extend by 1 hour because we might not finish within the 30 minutes. Is it possible? Because the questions might not find time. The Speaker has discretion and...
Standing orders, I have that power, Honorable Senators.
Thank
if
you.
You read Standing Order 38,
yes,
I have that power.
Thank you.
But I can only exercise that power if the time that we have,
yes,
I see it being utilized for the purpose that has brought us here.
Most obliged. Thank you, Speaker.
If that is proven to me, I will have no problem extending.
Thank you. Thank
I
you,
will never
Speaker.
extend even a minute for us to argue or to fight.
Okay.
I will extend, even if it's 1 hour, 2 hours, for us to dig deep in this matter. Not
Thank
for
you,
side
Honorable
shows.
Speaker.
Side shows, I will not give them even a minute. Proceed, IPOA.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and this honorable house. As I said, my name is Anne Wanjiku. I'm standing in for my chair, who is away on official duty. So I also wish to relay our condolence as the authority to the family of Mr. Ojwang. It was very unfortunate to lose such a young man, a professional with a very young family. So, Honorable Speaker, we have been mandated as IPOA to oversight police on issues of crime, criminal offenses, and the recent judgment by Mugambi J emphasized that IPOA has the sole mandate to investigate police on criminal matters. On regard to this case, Mr. Speaker, I'll give a brief of the facts that we have. From start, the DCI received a complaint from the DIG, Kenya Police, Mr. Eliud Lagat, through a letter referenced DIG KPS SCC POL Volume 2, 72 dated 4th June, where he alleged that he suffered continuous false and malicious publications on X account, formerly Twitter, with the username Pixel Pioneer, and requested investigations with a view to establish the person and motive behind it. On the same day, on 4th June 2025, the complainant was referred to Serious Crime Unit based at DCI headquarters for investigations. Through forensic analysis, they were able to identify the link used by the blogger and the person linked to the account as one Kelvin Moinde. On 5th June 2025, Kelvin Moinde was arrested by DCI officers from the Serious Crime Unit at Gituki area, Bomachage, Borabu, and later escorted to Nairobi. He was placed in custody at Kamkunji Police Station, Nairobi. On interrogating the suspect, the officers established that one Albert Omondi Ojwang, herein referred to as the deceased, a resident of Leader Center within Homa Bay County, was a person of interest and therefore planned to arrest him. On 7th of June 2025 at around 8 a.m., team comprising of Sergeant Sigei, Sergeant Wesley Kipkorir Kirui, PC Dennis Kenyoni, PC Milton Mwanze, and PC Boniface Rabudo went to Leader Center in Homa Bay County and arrested the deceased at around 2:30 p.m. and took him to Mawego Police Station, and a letter in custody via OB 10-7/6 of 2025. At around 3:54 p.m., the deceased was booked out via OB number 11/7/6 of 2025 and escorted to Nairobi, where he was booked at Central Police Station via OB number 136/7/6 of 2025 at 9:31 p.m. On 8th June 2025, according to the police signal, the deceased was rushed to Bagathi Hospital by police officers from Central Police Station, where he was declared dead and later taken to City Funeral Home. The authority learned of the death of Albert Ojwang in police custody on 8th June from the media, as well as through the police signal sent to the authority by the IG, and immediately commenced investigation. We have achieved the following tasks, Honorable Speaker. The scene was visited and documented for the purpose of preserving the integrity of the evidence, to establish the sequence of events, and identify any indicators of misconduct. Number 2, blood samples were collected from the scene, and blood spatter analysis was also done by our investigating officers. 3, all relevant police documents were collected from Central Police Station. The CCTV DVR was seized and forwarded for forensic analysis. Statements from all the 5 DCI arresting officers were recorded. A letter addressed to Bagathi Hospital requesting information on whether the deceased was treated at the facility was delivered. A reply is expected by 11th of June, that is today. The family of the deceased was contacted. Potential witnesses were also identified. The occurrence book records were obtained from Mawego Police Station. The post-mortem examination was attended, and a copy of the report was obtained. The samples drawn from the deceased body were secured and are pending onward transmission to the government chemist. The statement of one detainee held at Central Police Station was also recorded. The following are the pending tasks, Mr. Speaker: to forward the collected samples from crime scene for analysis, to forward samples collected from the deceased body for analysis, to record a statement of other potential witnesses and family members, to record the statement of the officers from Central Police Station today, and the statements were to start, the recording was to start at 9 a.m. at our offices at the headquarters, collect medical documents from Bagathi Hospital, that is the feedback, and analyze evidence and also to generate a report on the same. The key findings: 1, that the CCTV systems located at OCS office had been interfered with. Number 2, that the post-mortem conducted on 10th June 2025 revealed the cause of death as head injury due to blunt force trauma, neck compression, and multiple subcutaneous bruises all over the body. This, Honorable Speaker, the autopsy report and our preliminary investigation rule out the theory of suicide. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The National Police Service.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. This is the National Police Service Commission. As you are aware, Mr. Speaker, we don't have full commission right now, but I'm standing in as the Vice Chair, awaiting the appointment of the rest of the commissioners to join the commission. Speaker, I don't think at this moment I'll have much to say, but first to pass condolences to the family and the entire country for the unfortunate event.
Sorry, for the purpose of answer, can you state his name?
Oh, sorry. My name is Edwin Kiprono Cheluket, and as I've said, Speaker, we are waiting the rest of the commissioners to join us. Mr. Speaker, I only come in on two issues, disciplinary control in the National Police Service. And the issue of disciplinary control includes actions against police officers who have been convicted of disciplinary offenses, which include such circumstances as has happened today. If the investigations lead to culpability of any officer, it is the responsibility of the National Police Service Commission to take the necessary steps and meet the necessary sentence to that culpable officer. And as you have said, the IG has already confirmed that he has interdicted 4 officers already, which is within his mandate as the Inspector General. When the investigations are over, we will be able to receive that report, and whether it will result, depending on the participation of each of the affected officers, meet the necessary sentence or meet the necessary punishment in terms of whether it is a reprimand, whether it is a warning, whether it's reduction in rank, or whether it is a dismissal. So as for us, we are waiting for the finalization of the investigations by IPOA and the support of the Inspector General and any other body that may give us information on culpability of any police officer. So at this moment, Mr. Speaker, we are waiting, and we hope the entire process will be open and transparent.
You are watching Glory Wonders TV. You are watching Glory Wonders TV.
Kongoi missing amun eninye nei Civic Glory Wonder TV. Glory Wonder TV inyorchini Star Time, ag inyorchini Co TV, ag inyorchini Free Trade. Ago kimiten Bank Africa. So jenge en Bank Africa
willing to assist the internal police oversight authority in terms of the investigations in whatever way we are requested. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Now, Honorable Senators, those are the parties that we had invited for purposes of interacting with them on this matter of the death of the young man. I will now this is how we're going to move, honorable senators. If you take to the floor, you will state to which party you're directing your question to. Then that party will write down your name and the question. After we are done, I will call upon the CS. He'll pick whatever has been directed towards him and respond to it. And thereafter, we will move to the rest of the parties. Senator Eddie Okech.
Mr. Speaker, my questions are two. And actually, Mr. Speaker, if you read my first question in this statement, it was very clear. And I'll repeat it for the purposes of the IG. Now that the CS has said that he has no eyes and he has no ears. The question was the circumstances that led to the death of Mr. Albert Omondi Ojwang, including a detailed account of events surrounding his fatal injury. The DIG has stated that around 23:35, Albert was booked at the Central Police Station. And he has stated that Albert was booked after an assessment had been done that he was in good condition, he was in good mental condition, as well as physical condition. The question I'm asking the IG, who beat Albert to the conditions that he was found the next day in the morning when he was taken to the hospital? What happened at that night is what we want to know. And alongside that, Mr. Speaker, the IG is on record having stated in the media that Albert hit his head on the wall. Who gave him that information? And does he still stand by that information given what IPOA said of the autopsy report? That is what I want to know. What happened in that night? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Methu. Senator Methu, no speeches.
Thank you very much. I'll be very, very direct to the point, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, having listened to the man who, in my opinion, now carries or rather the man who was supposed to give us the evidence of the chronology of what happened, I am of this opinion, Honorable Speaker. We were told that the complainant is the Deputy Inspector General of Police. I'm of this opinion, Honorable Speaker, that from what the Inspector General of Police has said, it is my opinion that the evidence he has put together is the corrected evidence. And I'll give two examples of why I am of the opinion that the Inspector General wants to just cover his deputy. He says that, Mr. Speaker, he says that the complainant lodged a complaint on the 4th of June. There are 4 officers that he has said who were supposed to go, or rather, who were to take the statement from the Inspector General of Police. May I take you to the 5th of June when he has said 2 letters were made. One, they first received the response from the EACC on the 5th of June. They wrote another letter to the CAK on the 5th of June. On the same day, they received a letter from the CAK. Once they were satisfied that there is a case to answer, the officers went to arrest Albert. Now, Mr. Speaker, the officers arrived in Kisii at 12:55. Walking back it is 307 kilometers from Nairobi to Kisii. If indeed they left Nairobi after they were satisfied, unless these letters were being done before government opens offices, I know that government opens offices at 8 in the morning. If they did a letter, for example, to the CAK at 8, and they got a response at maybe 8:15, if the government is so swift, then it means that they drove to Kisii in less than 3 hours. This, Mr. Speaker, cannot have happened unless there is further evidence that of how. No, we have been told that they didn't fly. We have been told that
Senator
they drove to Kisii.
Don't engage your colleagues, just proceed.
Oh yeah, they drove all the way to Kisii. And they go to Kisii from what the Inspector General of Police has told us at 12:55 hours. Honorable Speaker, that already raises eyebrows that this evidence has been deconstructed. This is not original evidence. This is not a true record of what happened to Ojwang. And I am very sad that the Inspector General of Police, in my opinion, I'm giving my opinion, apparent who is here.
Just ask your question.
Yeah, so that is my question. My second question. And Honorable Speaker, I don't know why colleagues have a
Order, honorable senators.
Just
one, let me just direct you. I will not take any points of order. We have just suspended the sitting. We are here not strictly enforcing the standing orders. Allow the honorable senators, you've made a basis for your question, proceed to ask the question.
You know, Mr. Speaker, we are here because we want to know what happened to Albert Ojwang. If any information can help us know what happened to Albert Ojwang, then it will help us move. Maybe finally, may I know from the Inspector General of Police, once it was established in the morning that Albert was unconscious and he was being rushed to hospital, the choice of Mbagathi Hospital instead of Kenyatta National Hospital, just a question to maybe to help in the investigation, because I've seen from Central Police Station to Kenyatta National Hospital via Hospital Road is 5.1 kilometers. To Mbagathi is 5.8 kilometers via Valley Road. Mr. Speaker, I would have imagined that there are better facilities and there are better facilities at Kenyatta National Hospital, and being a hospital that is nearer the Central Police Station, Honorable Speaker, I would have expected that is where Albert would have been taken. Thank you.
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've listened to the IG very keenly, but I would like to know what brief, the specific brief that led to the suspension of the officers at Central Police Station.
Senator Bunge.
Mr. Speaker, my first one is to CS Murkomen. Mr. Speaker, patriots in this country fought against detention without trial. And CS Murkomen, I assure you, they are going to fight against extrajudicial killings, especially within police custody. The question is this, CS. The Deputy Inspector of Police, Mr. Eliud Lagat, went against the provisions of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, went against the provisions of the National Police Act, specifically Section 17, and in general, the Leadership and Integrity Act. You, as a member of the National National Security Council, where you sit together with the IG, both of you are present here. Why have you found it difficult to advise the necessary authorities that Eliud Lagat be dismissed from service? My next question, Mr. Speaker, is to CS, not CS, to the IG Kanja. IG Kanja, Kenyans who know you, we have a lot of respect for you because you are the officer, unknown to some people, who defeated the terrorists at Dusit 2 Hotel. we know you as a serious police officer. We've been wondering why these killings under you, and now that Lagat is the person we have found to be who he is, we can now very well see who has been undermining you. I therefore want to appeal to you. Tell this country, a spokesman by the name of Mushiri Nyaga, the police spokesman, he misrepresented material facts. He attempted to conceal this killing. He went and interfered with the circumstances of the crime by stating that Omondi Ojwang hit his head on the wall. IG Kanja, why have you not arrested him? He has information which in his statement under arrest will help to point fingers at who gave him this deliberate statement so as to do what I have said above. Finally, Mr. Speaker, back to Kanja and or Amin. IPOA has now told us the names of the officers from DCI who went to Migori to go and arrest Ojwang. Can you tell the country how it came to pass that Kajwang was moved all the way, Ojwang, that Ojwang was moved all the way, hundreds of kilometers, contrary to the provisions of normal procedure that would have required that he be taken to the nearest police station in the jurisdiction where he committed, quote unquote, the said crime, and that if he needed to be moved, a magistrate needed to give permission for him to be moved all the way to Nairobi. Could you, IG, tell us why you have found it difficult to arrest these officers? And their names are a little bit disturbing. You tell us why you have not arrested them? Because they're the only ones who are with this young man from the last time the parents saw him well and alive up to the time they came to Nairobi for the country to be told that the young man was dead. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal to CS Murkomen. CS Murkomen,
Hii ututazame kwa neema nyingi na baraka, sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri hii yetu. Tukuomba utuajalie tuyatende na kufikia mambo yote atakayofishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao wamesikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen.
This opinion, he was murdered. In light of the foregoing, we are calling not just for the resignation, but for the arrest and arraignment in court of the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Eliud Lagat, within 24 hours from the issuance of this statement. We similarly demand that the junior officers currently being persecuted be given witness protection with immediate effect. Their lives obviously are in danger because they know the truth. We applaud the courageous Kenyans who have kept vigil at Vigilance House and encourage them to maintain the pressure until this is achieved. We are also aware that Safaricom is complicit and indeed a facilitator in the tracing and abduction of Kenyans who have either ended up dead or maimed in the hands of police like Albert Ojwang. We want to issue a direct warning that this amounts to aiding and abetting in the commission of these crimes against humanity, for which Kenyans was picked up in Homabay. He had no physical injuries. Indeed, he was having lunch with his wife. We demand to know who inflicted the grievous and extensive injuries on his body. Number 5, it's been reported that Albert was in solitary confinement at Central Police Station. Why was Albert considered a high-risk criminal to be confined in solitary? If he was not in solitary confinement, as alleged, who are his cellmates and how many were they? We therefore demand to know that we demand to be shown the cell register to show whether he was with other inmates or he was in solitary confinement. Number 6, yesterday, June 10th, 2025, we've read and heard that the Director of Public Prosecutions, the DPP, directed the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, to expedite investigations on circumstances surrounding the death of Albert and report within 7 days. This is a cover-up and a diversionary tactic to delay this matter. The mandate of the DPP under the Constitution of Kenya is to direct the National Police Service and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations in writing to do investigations, not to direct the IPOA. The postmortem on Albert is clear, and all Kenyans affirm this opinion. He was murdered. In light of the foregoing, we are calling not just for the resignation, but for the arrest and arraignment in court of the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Eliud Lagat, within 24 hours from the issuance of this statement. We similarly demand that the junior officers currently being persecuted be given witness protection with immediate effect. Their lives obviously are in danger because they know the truth. We applaud the courageous Kenyans who have kept vigil at Vigilance House and encourage them to maintain the pressure until this is achieved. We are also aware that Safaricom is complicit and indeed a facilitator in the tracing and abduction of Kenyans who have either ended up dead or maimed in the hands of police like Albert Ojwang. We want to issue a direct warning that this amounts to aiding and abetting in the commission of these crimes against humanity, for which Kenyans will hold Safaricom responsible and either take appropriate legal action or boycott their services. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, due to the persistent targeting, kidnapping and abductions, intimidation and love arrests and murder of young people by this heinous and degenerate regime led by William Ruto, we reiterate our call for the June 25th to be a people's public holiday, a day of memorial in honor of all Kenyans who have lost their lives under this regime. Thank you. God bless Kenya.
I think it's a very clear statement. I don't know whether anybody in here, because I think something so serious needs to be digested as it is.
Yes. No questions. No questions.
Thank you.
Maybe maybe, but anyway, it's okay. Anyway, clear. To delay this matter, the mandate of the DPP under the Constitution of Kenya is to direct the National Police Service and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations in writing to do investigations, not to direct the IPOA. The postmortem on Albert is clear, and all Kenyans affirm this opinion. He was murdered. In light of the foregoing, we are calling not just for the resignation, but for the arrest and arraignment in court of the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Eliud Lagat, within 24 hours from the issuance of this statement. We similarly demand that the junior officers currently being prosecuted be given witness protection with immediate effect. Their lives obviously are in danger because they know the truth. We applaud the courageous Kenyans who have kept vigil at Vigilance House and encourage them to maintain the pressure. Number 3, we demand to know where the footage showing Albert being brought in and leaving the station is, and whether it's been provided to the family lawyers. If there is no footage, we demand to know who ordered for the cameras to be switched off. When Albert was picked up in Homa Bay, he had no physical injuries. Indeed, he was having lunch with his wife. We demand to know who inflicted the grievous and extensive injuries on his body. Number 5, it's been reported that Albert was in solitary confinement at Central Police Station. Why was Albert considered a high-risk criminal to be confined in solitary? If he was not in solitary confinement, as alleged, who are his cellmates and how many were they? We therefore demand to know that the cell, demand to be shown the cell register to show whether he was with other cells. This is a cover-up and a diversionary tactic to delay this matter. The mandate of the DPP under the Constitution of Kenya is to direct the National Police Service and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations in writing to do investigations, not to direct the IPOA. The postmortem on Albert is clear, and all Kenyans affirm this opinion. He was murdered. In light of the foregoing, we are calling not just for the resignation, but for the arrest and arraignment in court of the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Eliud Lagat, within 24 hours from the issuance of this statement. We similarly demand that the junior officers currently being prosecuted be given witness protection with immediate effect. Their lives obviously are in danger because they know the truth. We applaud the courageous Kenyans who have kept vigil at Vigilance House and encourage them to maintain the pressure until this is achieved. We are also aware that Safaricom is complicit and indeed a facilitator in the tracing and abduction of Kenyans who have either ended up dead or maimed in the hands of police like Albert Ojwang. We want to issue a direct warning that this amounts to aiding and abetting in the commission of these crimes against humanity, for which Kenyans will hold Safaricom responsible and either take appropriate legal action or boycott their services. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, due to the persistent targeting, kidnapping and abductions, intimidation and love arrests and murder of young people by this heinous and degenerate regime led by William Ruto, we reiterate our call for the June 25th to be a people's public holiday, a day of memorial in honor of all Kenyans who have lost their lives under this regime. Thank you. God bless Kenya.
I think it's a very clear statement. I don't know whether anybody in here, because I think something so serious needs to be digested as it is.
Yes.
No questions. No questions. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
you are watching Glory Wonders TV.
I believe Mr. Amin saw through a Quran, and the others lifted a Bible. And when I had read a Quran, sometimes the Quran strongly condemns murder. And the Bible, C.S. Murukaman, you are a Christian, it says, thou shalt not kill. So this matter is painful. This is an extraordinary sitting. Mr. Speaker, the people who started the events that led to the murder of this young man, who is the only son of a fairly elderly parent, who are from the DCI. And when you speak from Homa Bay, I believe he was first taken to DCI. And Mr. Amin, I want to look at you, and you are a Muslim, and you have children. All of you have children. I also have children. Nobody will have any joy when you see somebody's son die.
Honorable Mogeni, the 2 hours have lapsed. I will therefore extend for a further 45 minutes.
Thank you. So, Mr. DCI, I believe that at the DCI offices, you have CCTV cameras. So if we need to connect the events before we end up at Central Police Station, Mr. Speaker, the life of Ojwang stopped. We can also stop everything we are doing to get to the bottom of this matter. If we had John, Mr. Speaker, can we get the CCTV cameras that will track the movement of this young man from the DCI headquarters all the way to Central Police Stations, if we sincerely want Kenyans to know the truth, so that we know whether this guy was taken to Central Police Station dead or alive. So, Mr. Speaker, we want this to be an extraordinary session. If we have to go to the bottom of the truth, can the DCI tell us this afternoon, since you have sworn by the Quran, that you can get us the CCTV cameras that will show us the state this late man was when he left DCI, assuming that the CCTVs cameras at Central Police Station were tampered with. One. Number two, this is to IG now. This was an ordinary suspect, Bwana IG, booked at Central Police Station. I want you to, and Murkomen, you are a lawyer, you are a colleague. And we know you have a wife and you have children. I also have children, Murkomen. So we are here pained for what the police have done. You're murdering a Kenyan in a police cell. Somebody's only child. How heartless can you guys be in the police force? So we want to know why. Why was this young man, Ojwang, booked alone in a cell at Central Police Station? If this was not covered up. Finally, Mr. Speaker, this person from IPOA, you are a vice chair. The chairman of IPOA knows that we are investigating a matter where a Kenyan has been murdered in a police cell. A safe haven for any criminal. When you go to a police cell, lawyers, we know it's a safe haven. Mr. Speaker, I want to know this afternoon, where is this chairman of IPOA? Mr. Speaker, where is the chairman of IPOA? When we have adjourned every business to address this matter, where has he go? What is that so important business that he can travel out of the country instead of coming to the House to give us the answers that we are seeking? Finally, Mr. Speaker, this is to CS Murkomen. Because you are a colleague, we were with you here last session. You know chapter 14 has a total 10 articles, 10 of them. You know that Article 240 establishes the National Security Council. If you read Article 4, Article 240 is about Article 3. It says the council shall exercise supervisory control. Supervisory is a verb, an action word, a to-do word. So it says the National Council shall supervise all the police units. So how can you come here, CS, this morning to tell us that the government of the Republic of Kenya has no eye, can say nothing? When the Constitution commands the police units to respect human rights, the rule of law, and fundamental freedoms. Fundamental freedoms demand that if I'm a suspect, arrest me, take me to a police station. If there is a crime I've committed, take me to a court of law. So I want to ask you, CS, this morning, do you want to tell us that the government of the day, led by the Commander-in-Chief, has got no supervisory powers over the police force in Kenya? Is that what you are telling the Senate of the Republic of Kenya this morning? Those are my questions.
The Deputy Speaker.
Actions remain the same position I had in this office, in this Senate. Mr. Speaker, let me say how. Mr. Speaker, when I got to office, I made sure that on the question, and you know, some people speak as though I've been in this office for 6 months. Mr. Speaker, I'm not yet even 6 months since I joined this office, but I'm glad that many people have expectation in me. I know even of a particular senator, Mr. Speaker, who never even waited for 2 months, whose national chorus is Murkomen must resign, Murkomen must be fired. Mr. Speaker, even when I was 2 months to the office, that of cases are under investigations. Mr. Speaker, a few years ago, the question of Baby Pendo. Mr. Speaker, a few years ago, the question of Koome. Mr. Speaker, I disclose here that lawyer Kimani was my friend. I knew him. Mr. Speaker, in all those investigations, Mr. Speaker, the Independent Police Oversight Authority did their job. Even as Senator Medu was saying, there might be a cover-up. In the case of Senator Kimani, because I follow, Wakili Kimani, in that particular case, Mr. Speaker, there was an attempt to cover up. But, Mr. Speaker, because of the work that IPOA did, 6 police officers are now, Mr. Speaker, on the queue waiting to be hanged because of what they did to kill a lawyer, Mr. Speaker, whose job was only to defend his client. Mr. Speaker, therefore, there is enough precedent to deal with matters that are related to police brutality and extrajudicial killing. Mr. Speaker, I personally, even though I am not part and parcel of this investigation, I have no doubt in my mind, Mr. Speaker, that if the speed that IPOA is using and the Corporation National Police Service is giving, Mr. Speaker, that the perpetrators of this heinous act against Albert, Mr. Speaker, will be brought to book. And, Mr. Speaker, I have no doubt in my mind that if our judiciary, working closely with the DPP and the investigators, these people will just follow the same route that other police officers in the past have followed who have committed this heinous act. I wanted to give that assurance to the people of Kenya. And the Kipchumba of that time is the same one. Mr. Speaker, I went to Nakuru. Brian Odhiambo, his mother confronted me because Brian Odhiambo was kidnapped and taken to, I think it was National Park. Mr. Speaker, the investigations have stopped. The arrest was not happening. But, Mr. Speaker, when I came back, I told the investigation authorities, it's your responsibility to make sure that those who have participated in the kidnapping of Brian Odhiambo must be brought to book. Mr. Speaker, as a result of that pressure I put in as a cabinet secretary, those people were charged in the court in Nakuru. Mr. Speaker, on matters of abductions, since I entered office, I have been very vocal, Mr. Speaker, including an investigation that is ongoing regarding a member of parliament. And, Mr. Speaker, we will unearth all those cases of abductions. Mr. Speaker, when we came to office, even though I was not the cabinet secretary, Mr. Speaker, the president gave directions to the country during campaign and after we came to office that it does not want to see extrajudicial killing. It doesn't want to see bodies in River Yala. It doesn't want to see bodies in River Tana. It doesn't want to see bodies in Abadeas of people who have been abducted and killed. Mr. Speaker, we may not have exterminated completely these criminals who are doing these acts. But, Mr. Speaker, I can tell you there is no systematic or planned such acts in government. And, Mr. Speaker, there is not by accident that as this administration came to office, there are no bodies that are found in River Yala or River Tana, Mr. Speaker. Why? Because we took a stand position, Mr. Speaker, and will continue in that direction. And, Mr. Speaker, I am glad that now we enjoy this level of democracy and freedom to speak. Even those who presided over the ministry when bodies were floating in River Yala, Mr. Speaker, now have the freedom to call us into order. And, Mr. Speaker, it is because they know this is a government that is responsive to the things that the people of Kenya are asking for. And I want to assure the nation that I am the same Kipchumba who was a valiant soldier in this house. I will use the same vigor, Mr. Speaker, to exterminate all kinds of, Mr. Speaker, criminal activities within the police. And the police know. And I have told them clearly, in all the forum, Mr. Speaker, I established what is called Jukwaa la Usalama. In this Jukwaa la Usalama, all the OCSs attend the meeting. In every county, Mr. Speaker, we've completed coast and eastern 14 counties. Mr. Speaker, in all those forums, I want to assure the House that as a cabinet secretary, I have told the police officer in no uncertain terms that anybody who is going to be found to carry out such extrajudicial killing will carry their burden. Let me come to the specific questions, Mr. Speaker, that touched on me. Number one, Mr. Speaker, that was the first question by Senator Kalwale. Mr. Speaker, there is Senator Kajwang asked, Mr. Speaker, about, again, and I've responded to that question generally about my record and so forth. Mr. Speaker, on the extrajudicial killings, Senator also Kajwang asked, Mr. Speaker, whether I have given any policy directions related to, Mr. Speaker, this issue of Mr. Speaker, how to handle an arrested person. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the, let me just refer to this. If you look at the police standing orders, Mr. Speaker, at the moment, Mr. Speaker, and I don't want to read so that I give time to everybody to respond, because it's a long list, maybe I'll table later. The police standing orders already prescribe and provide, Mr. Speaker, how to handle a police officer, including Before you book in, not a police officer, a suspect. Before you book in a suspect, you must confirm that he was in good health or not, Mr. Speaker. And those regulations.
Honorable Senators, he has just said he will table, but
yes.
He wants to pick a few statements from
yes.
before he does that.
So, Mr. Speaker, it says that the guidelines, Mr. Speaker, require that you must determine the health and general conditions of the suspect. Every arrested person shall be granted police bond and bail at the earliest opportunity. All suspects must undergo mental and physical health screening at the time of booking. The suspect must be immediately booked upon arrest and entry record in the occurrence book. All movements of the suspect into and out of the cell must be recorded in the OB. And if you had the investigations that are ongoing, they are telling us when he was booked in, when he was removed, Mr. Speaker, and that will assist IPOA in the investigations, that occurrence book. Mr. Speaker, police cells must not be overcrowded. Space per detainee must conform to minimum standards. The booking officer must inform the suspect of their basic rights. Communication must suspect all this. It is not the absence of the legal framework or policy directions that led to the killing of Mr. Albert Ojwang, Mr. Speaker. It is blatant disregard of the law and the Constitution. And that's why we are not coming here to give excuses that it is in the absence of a policy direction from the ministry. No, Mr. Speaker, it is just blatant disregard. If you see how that gentleman was beaten, Mr. Speaker, the person who did it is an animal. And it calls upon all of us to say that that person must face justice, and it at the shortest time possible, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, there is absolutely no reason on my side, Mr. Speaker, to try to hide anything, Mr. Speaker, because that investigations, as I said earlier, covering other previous police officers have led to them being held into account. Mr. Speaker, Senator Mungatana asked the question of training of police officers on the questions of human rights. I must confirm here that there has been progressive growth in terms of training of police officers. However, Mr. Speaker, the truth is that because of lack of resources, Mr. Speaker, our police officers, last training they have is the day they were recruited, Mr. Speaker. Only those in the higher cadre, Mr. Speaker, and all who sometimes get to go to promotion get to be trained, but a large number of our police officers do not get to go through this promotion. And therefore, one of the things that the National Police Service has been pushing, and we will push with them, and I will help them push this issue, is to make sure that budgetary allocation is provided, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that the police get money to continuous training and updating their knowledge on human rights. Mr. Speaker, it's also expected that when you punish perpetrators like this, Mr. Speaker, it was always expected that we would send a message to others. But like any other society, when you have a force of 120,000 police officers, you will find a small number of them, Mr. Speaker, violating the Constitution and the law. Mr. Speaker, Senator Mogeni, I suspect I've answered this question, whether I had any responsibility, supervisory responsibility as part of the Security Council, and I said yes. Mr. Speaker, the only answer I gave that I didn't have an eye on, and I am not supposed to do, is to meddle on specific investigation. If I do so, it will reach a stage where our cabinet secretary will be picking people politically on who's to be charged and who's not be charged, and that is what the Constitution tried to remove from us. Mr. Speaker, on the question of Senator Wambua, I think generally I've also answered by the statement I made, except to add that, Mr. Speaker, I want to assure my friend Senator Wambua that I did demand answers from the Inspector General of Police. The only difference is that because I'm a cabinet secretary, I cannot demand in public. I cannot call a press conference to demand speedy investigation from the Inspector General or to request him to make sure that the people of Kenya get answers in good time. It is because we work together. I can give him a call and to tell him to speed up the process. And I think if you think that this is an issue that was reported on Sunday, and Mr. Speaker, today is Tuesday, the speed, Mr. Speaker, is commendable. And I believe that if the IPOA can move in the same speed, it should be in few days, and I don't want to commit myself because they are independent. They should commit themselves to, in the shortest time possible, to make sure that that file is taken to the DPP office. I also agree with the sentiments from Senator Veronica Maina, Mr. Speaker, on the human rights, on the reform program, that it must continue. There is a team that is currently constituted in the ministry that is working on the reform program. I have also asked a team, my own team in my own office, to look at all the legislation on issues of abductions and extrajudicial killing, if there are also areas that we need to close the gap to make sure that at least internally from our police force, there is no possibility of any person involving themselves in that issue. And Mr. Speaker, if I get areas where it needs legislative reform, I will come back to this House for support. Mr. Speaker, I agree with her that in one way or another we must support Albert's family, and I hope that those who will be found culpable also will be held into account, Mr. Speaker, over and above us just supporting from as government, and also all of us who are sitting here, perhaps from our own calling and generosity. Mr. Speaker, there was also a suggestion from Senator Dulo that we may need to look at the use of the computer misuse law. Mr. Speaker, we were here, we debated this law, there were issues, it went to High Court, it went to Court of Appeal, where it is at the moment. Mr. Speaker, some of those issues, we can relook at them. Mr. Speaker, even the team that I've constituted in my office, I've told them to look at all the decisions of the courts, including Justice Ogola's.
Not strictly enforcing the standing orders. Allow the honorable senators, you've made a basis for your question, proceed to ask the question.
You know, Mr. Speaker, we are here because we want to know what happened to Albert Ojwang. If any information can help us know what happened to Albert Ojwang, then it will help us move. Maybe finally, may I know from the Inspector General of Police, once it was established in the morning that Albert was unconscious and he was being rushed to hospital, the choice of Mbagathi Hospital instead of Kenyatta National Hospital, just a question to maybe to help in the investigation, because I've seen from Central Police Station to Kenyatta National Hospital via Hospital Road is 5.1 kilometers. To Mbagathi is 5.8 kilometers via Valley Road. Mr. Speaker, I would have imagined that there are better facilities and there are better facilities at Kenyatta National Hospital, and being a hospital that is nearer the Central Police Station, Honorable Speaker, I would have expected that is where Albert would have been taken. Thank you.
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've listened to the IG very keenly, but I would like to know what brief, the specific brief that led to the suspension of the officers at Central Police Station.
Senator Bunge.
Mr. Speaker, my first one is to CS Murkomen. Mr. Speaker, patriots in this country fought against detention without trial, and CS Murkomen, I assure you, they are going to fight against extrajudicial killings, especially within police custody. The question is this, CS. The Deputy Inspector of Police, Mr. Eliud Lagat, went against the provisions of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, went against the provisions of the National Police Act, specifically Section 17, and in general, the Leadership and Integrity Act. You, as a member of the National Security Council, where you sit together with the IG, both of you are present here. Why have you found it difficult to advise the necessary authorities that Eliud Lagat be dismissed from service? My next question, Mr. Speaker, is to CS, not CS, to the IG Kanja. IG Kanja, Kenyans who know you, we have a lot of respect for you, because you are the officer, unknown to some people, who defeated the terrorists at Dusit 2 Hotel. We know you as a serious police officer. We've been wondering why these killings under you And now that Lagat is the person we have found to be who he is, we can now very well see who has been undermining you. I therefore want to appeal to you.
There's one simple salt trick that anyone can use to fight off nerve pain almost overnight.
Of his relationship with anybody. Mr. Speaker, and the last thing was there was something to do with reforms again. And to close in, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to assure Senator Haji. Mr. Speaker, when Senator Haji spoke, I was fighting tears because he spoke for all of us and he spoke for this country. Mr. Speaker, the life of Albert Ojwang is as painful, Mr. Speaker, as the life of Father Alois, who was killed by criminals. It's also as painful as the life of that person killed in Garissa. It's the same as the ones who died in Todonyang where I visited recently, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, in the national security architecture, we take every life seriously. We are glad that there is an opportunity today to discuss the question of the life of Mr. Albert Ojwang. I do not take it away from those who brought it to this chamber. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to assure the country that we take the same seriousness in every other life, just like the case of Albert. And I hope that also this chamber and the Republic will be conscious to deal with these issues when they come before us. Mr. Speaker, I remain seized of this matter. I will remain accountable to this House, and therefore, Mr. Speaker, I'm ready and willing to ensure that I respond to all the questions that this chamber. Mr. Speaker, in any case, in the statement I was going to bring to this House, there are also very weighty issues about abductions and police brutalities and citizens killing during protests last year. And I believe that, Mr. Speaker, when we get the time to come back again, these issues will have to be ventilated based on the responses that we are going to bring to this chamber. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now we are going to hear responses from the IG. IG, you mentioned the name of the senator and the question and proceed to respond so that we save on time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. The honorable members of the Senate. Let me start by saying that I appreciate you very much. The questions that were raised here, they are questions that are weighty. They are questions that are very valid. They are questions that are also going to assist us, even when we are looking at our standard operating procedures and so forth. So I really, really appreciate your contribution, the questions that you asked. They are very, very important to us. Secretary, Mr. Speaker, sir, let me say that when I was being vetted by Parliament, I did inform the Parliament that I will operate within the frameworks of the law. And I demanded the same from my officers, the members of the National Police Service, to operate within the frameworks of the law. That is the reason why myself as the Inspector General and the leadership of the National Police Service, we are pained by the loss of the late Ojwang in our police cells there. We are pained. As a parent, I'm also pained for losing young Ojwang. I feel pained. Now, when we go to the questions, the first question was by Honorable Senator Okeshi. The circumstances that led to the death of the late Albert Ojwang. These circumstances are being investigated by IPOA. And as my CS has said, let us give IPOA an opportunity so that they can quickly be able to investigate and tell us openly exactly what really happened. Number two, there was this report of Albert having hit his head against the wall. That is the information that came, the primary information that came from the same station. But in the subsequent press briefing that I did, that was rectified, and in fact, we can even be able to see it very, very clearly by the results of the investigations. There was this question that was asked by Honorable Senator Medho. Why was he taken to Bagathi and not Kenyatta National Hospital, which probably could be a little bit near? Let me say this. Both of them are government hospitals, both Kenyatta and Bagathi Hospital. Maybe for the officers who are taking him to hospital, they made a decision to take him to Bagathi, but both of them are government hospitals, and we believe that they have got what it takes to treat a sick person. Then there is also this question of the interdiction of the officers. Why is it that the Inspector General did interdict the officers immediately? The reasons as to why I did interdict the officer commanding Central Police Station, the duty officer of the night when the late Albert Ojwang lost his life, the officers who are manning the report office,
I just pause. Yes, what's your intervention, Senator Fokelov?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I can see he has now going to be answering those questions which were asked. I had a question as to why was he not arrested, charged, or put whatever in a custody or something like that in Homa Bay? Why did he have to travel all the way from Homa Bay to Nairobi and ended up losing his life here?
Senator Fokelov, the IG has a list of all those questions. He will get to yours. Just be patient. Proceed, IG.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. This question was actually asked by Honorable Senator Medho, as to why I did interdict these officers, because these were the officers who were on duty there. And we wanted to ensure that once the high power takes over, the investigations are smooth and there is no one who is going to interfere with those investigations. That's why we wanted them to step aside and allow free investigation, because we wanted expeditious investigations to be carried out. We want to know who is this or who are these who committed that heinous crime. And we want to know it as quickly as possible. There was the question from for Bunge Harwere. That one has been answered by my CS. Then the question from Honorable Senator Manzayo, why Albert Ojwang was arrested in Homa Bay and why he had to be transported up to Nairobi. This question, the DCI is going to answer it very, 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 very clearly as to the reasons why he was transported from Homa Bay up to Nairobi. But basically, it is because in Nairobi, that is where the offense was actually committed. But DCI is going to give more details on that. Why the CCTVs were again interfered with? That is another question that was also asked by Senator Masayo. The Independent Police Oversight Authority is investigating the entire scene of crime. And they are going to tell us exactly what happened with the CCTVs. And if there is anyone who was involved in that, then punishment must be meted to an officer of that nature. So the same case applies to
the question, who are these police officers who committed the crime of murder to the late Albert Ojwang? Again, we are waiting for answers from IPOA, who are right now investigating the same. And we are looking forward to the resolution of that issue soonest possible, because it's something that have actually captured the entire country into what happened on that date. The question from Honorable Senator Kajwang. Now, this question of withdrawing and apologizing to the Senate and the country on the question of the late Ojwang, Ojwang having committed, hit his head on the walls. I think, as I said from the word go, we allow the IPOA to investigate, and they are going to give us concrete answers, because I have already indicated that in the subsequent media briefings that I did, that situation was actually corrected.
IG.
On whether...
IG, you need to respond to that question in a better way. This was the question by Senator Kajwang, that through your official communication, the first information you put out there to the public was that the young man had hit his head against the wall and therefore died. Later on, after the autopsy was carried out, it was found to be totally different. The question that the senator then rose to ask was, would you, having put that communication to the public that the young man hit his head on the wall and died, would you withdraw that particular communication and proceed to apologize to the nation? That was the question the Honorable Senator asked. If you're unable to do that, you can also, that's also an answer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. On that question, let me say this. Number one, if in the ongoing investigations by the IPOA investigators, we get to know the truth, the officers who issued the initial report that we relied upon, then they will have to face disciplinary proceedings as provided for by the regulations by providing incorrect information. So we are awaiting the outcome of the investigations of IPOA in that.
IG, we've had the benefit of hearing the representative of IPOA in the morning, and they were very categorical on what caused the death of this young man. What more do you want to hear?
Mr. Speaker, sir, from what we have heard here from the IPOA, although we have not yet gotten that report, we will proceed on and take appropriate measures on the officer who gave the primary report on that material day.
Nivea Men Black and White Dew. What do I do with 72 hours? Feel confident about my look every minute? Strong stain protection and no fear of sweat and odor. Thanks to Nivea Men Black and White Dew. Now with 72 hours protection. Skin is for embracing life. Nivea Men is for skin.
There was also the second question.
Honorable Senators, I think we are doing pretty well now. We are doing very well. What is your intervention, Honorable Mugatana? Now, IG, the reason why you are attracting a lot of intervention is because you do not want to open up and just tell the senators exactly what happened. We're here to hear the truth. Just give us the truth, and there'll be minimal interventions. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I have a lot of respect for the current IGP, in fact, a very professional police officer, but I wanted to remind him, the Constitution has given us, under Article 238, the principles of national security. Mr. Speaker, on 238(2)(c, it says, in performing the functions and exercising their powers, national security organs shall respect the diverse culture of the communities within Kenya. And Honorable Senator Kajwang has said, to imply suicide from his cultural background, it is attracting a huge stigmatization of that family. So I'm inviting the IGP to offer an unconditional apology to the Senate in view of the post-mortem report that has been made public. And then we proceed, Mr. Speaker.
Nivea Men Black and White Dew. What do I do with 72 hours? Feel confident about my look every minute? Strong stain protection and no fear of sweat and odor. Thanks to Nivea Men Black and White Dew. Now with 72 hours protection. Skin is for embracing life. Nivea Men is for skin.
Senator Mugatana has said that going by the report that you have gotten from my poll, that it is not true, he did not hit his head against the wall, but that is the report that we had from the word go. I tell my apology on behalf of the National Police Service because of that information. So there was also the question of how the police are trained. That question was clearly answered by my CS. He also did mention that FADS is also another constraint that has been delivering the National Police Service to enable us to train everybody within the service. Then there was also the question of how many were in the cell. There was also the question of how many were in the cell where Albert was held. Again, Mr. Speaker, sir, this question again will also be answered very clearly in the investigations by the IPOA of how many were actually in that cell. The questions by Senator Omugeni. As I have indicated, I myself am a parent. My other senior level commanders, they are all parents. By losing Ojwang, it pains me, it pains them. It is not right to lose them in a police cell. Now, when he arrived, or when he was brought in from Homa Bay, he was given an opportunity to call his family back home. As I did indicate from my statement that I was providing, where he did indicate to his wife that they had reached Central Police Station safely and he was safe. So that one confirms that when he reached Central Police Station, he was all right, by his own statement to his own family, that he was fine. So the second question is about why was Ojwang booked around in the cells. As I have indicated the area, this is something that is we are going to be provided with answers by the investigating agency, because these are some of the questions that it must answer. The questions that were raised by Honorable Senator Wabua.
IG, you 2 minutes ago you're doing fairly well, but I can see there's a relapse. The question was, why was this young man booked alone in a cell? And your response, if I got you correctly, is that matter is under investigation.
Yes.
Really, is that your response?
Yes. The matter is to establish the correct position.
Senator Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, I'm assuming that the IG is proceeding sequentially, and he has conveniently avoided 2 questions that I asked. And that was why the Deputy Inspector General of Police is still in office when he was very quick to interdict or to give directives for junior officers to be out on the basis of the proximate cause theory. And I also asked a very specific question that came out of his submission, that there were other names. There were other 4 persons of interest. Are they alive? Or are they in a ditch somewhere? Are they at City Mortuary? He's supposed to tell us that if he's going sequentially. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed, IG.
In regard to the question that was asked by Honorable Senator Kajwang about whether to reassure the House that all the 4 that were mentioned are alive. I'm going to give an answer, but the rest of the details will also be provided for by the DCI. To say this, there was one suspect who was arrested, and by that time he had been placed at Kamukoji police station. When the file went before the ODPP raised issues that needed to be covered. Thereafter, the suspect was set free until such a time when the file goes back to the ODPP and he gives his recommendations. As for the rest, none of them had been arrested. So we believe they are still out there. About why the DIG is still in the office, the reason why I did not go back to that question, it is because the CS had given actually an answer on the same. He did respond.
Yes, proceed, IG. Proceed. We need to save on time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. So that question of why Ojwang was booked around in the cells, as I have answered right now. We are saying.
Honorable Senators, the IG has responded to that question. His answer may not be satisfactory, but it's an answer. That is what he replied. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The questions that were raised by Honorable Senator Wabua. He first of all registered displeasure of the absence of the chair IPOA. I think that one was recorded. The question that was directed to the IG is when at the Central Police Station, Albert was booked again alone in the cell. And I have answered that question there before. I have answered the question.
IG, can you repeat your response to that question so that it's clear?
My response to that question, I have indicated that why he was booked in that cell alone, it is something that we need the investigating team to also let us know, because there are a number of cells that are at the Central Police Station. And now, at that particular time, I don't have the figures of those who are actually under the custody of those cells. But in the investigation, in the course of the investigations, we are going to get out the answers very, very.
Every day, Africa sends a wealth of raw materials overseas to be processed and converted into...
...to be put in a solitary confinement.
Honorable Speaker, once again, thank you very much. The CS have actually tabled the standard operating procedures through which the procedure that the police follow actually when someone is being placed in the cells, somebody has been arrested, brought in, the recording of the OBs, the recording actually in the cell register, and the number of even those suspects that are held in a particular cell is also very clear. So what I am not very, very sure of as at now is, and I'm looking forward to the investigation of the IPOA, why is it that he was alone in that cell? Is it that we had more cells? Is it that we did not have others who are there? So we are waiting for that question from IPOA.
Proceed, IG. Honorable Senators, let him conclude. We'll get better responses from IPOA. But before you proceed, IG, what's your intervention, Senator Andago?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I just needed some small clarification, Honorable Speaker. I thought in the morning I heard the IPOA say, in the progress they have made, they have also recorded a statement from one of the detainees. And maybe the clarification is, was that detainee in the same cell with Ojwang? So that the question of whether Ojwang was actually in the cell alone, can we marry the two? Because IPOA is here and police is here.
Yes, proceed, IG.
Then there was also this question, again from Honorable Senator Wabua, which he asked, how did the OCS confirm Albert Ojwang was fine when he was booked in? So again, that question goes back to the earlier question that I had answered, that when he reached the police station, when he was brought in at the Central Police Station, he was given an opportunity to talk to his spouse, where he did confirm that they had arrived safely and he is fine. And that record is actually in the occurrence book. And it was done by those officers who are at the report office at the Central Police Station. So that is actually the confirmation that he was fine when he reached the police station.
Certainly, it cannot be a point of order, Senator Anyonka. You may put forth your intervention.
Thank you. IG,
There's a gentleman who was the OCPD of that police station at Central, Mr. Benjamin Talam. Are you aware that he refused to book Mr. Ojwang when he was brought in, and that is why he was taken to the hospital? And in today's newspaper, he said he refused to accept him because the condition in which he was in, he would not have been accepted into the cells according to his training.
Mr. Speaker, sir, according to the information that I have, the late Albert Ojwang was booked in at the police station, Central Police Station, at 9:35 hours in the evening, and placed in the cells. Then the OCS, who is responsible for that station, was informed of the same. So the other one from the Honorable Senator, that one I'm not aware.
Honorable Senators, I'm taking note, and Senator Wambua, I'll come back to you. Just run through the questions that you have. For those ones that we feel are not satisfactorily answered, we will certainly have an opportunity, Senator Boni. Just proceed. Yes, Senator Boni.
Mr. Speaker, the public and the Senate are expecting that the witnesses we have this afternoon will shed light. And that light can only come out of the quality of the evidence that they are adducing. Mr. Speaker, there is something called a hostile witness. When a witness deliberately, with due respect to Kanja, either becomes economical with the truth or attempts to evade a question, he's being hostile. What is the value of this exercise if the IG, who is supposed to have convinced himself on how Ojwang was handled, how can he be the same one now deflecting that responsibility to IPOA? He's supposed to give evidence in the same manner he'll give to IPOA when IPOA will call him to appear before them, Mr. Speaker.
I know, Honorable Senators, the beauty of this is that we have all the players before us. He has shifted the burden to IPOA. IPOA is right before us. They will take to this stand, and they will go through exactly the responses that have been put forth by the IG. If the IPOA representative wasn't here, then a lot would have left hanging. So, Honorable Senators, let us be patient. Let us be patient. Let us be patient. Proceed.
Much, Honorable Speaker. Maybe I can just read a small part of my earlier statement. That
just pick the question and respond so
yes,
that we move.
So the question that had been asked here is, I would like to reply as follows. When they arrived at Central Police Station in Nairobi at approximately 21:17 hours, and at 21:24 hours, Mr. Albert Ojwang contacted his wife via mobile number that is also provided there to inform her of his safe arrival. Chief Inspector Taram, the officer commanding the police station, was contacted through his mobile phone. The number is also provided, and they authorized the booking of PC Mohammed Rashid Hiro Abdurai booked the suspect into the cells after confirming his normal physical and mental state was okay. Filed OB number 136/07/06/2025, which was done at 21:35 hours. That is the information that I have, Honorable Speaker, on that note. There was also the question of who interfered with the CCTV cameras at the station. Honorable Speaker, this question is amongst the many questions that the investigating agency who are actually looking, who deals with matters, criminal activities by police, to give us an answer on that one, so that we can actually now be able to take appropriate measures with anyone who interfered with the normal settings of the CCTVs around that station. There was also the question from Honorable Senator Veronica. The first question was, who deleted the Albert X account? Again, this question is going to be answered very clearly by the DCI. Who interfered with the CCTV cameras, and whether there is a backup of the same. So on the CCTV cameras, Honorable Speaker, it is have indicated that we are waiting for the investigations to let us know who is it that actually did that kind of interference. On the issue of whether we have a backup or not, we have already given some experts an assignment on that, and we are going to get that report very soon when we are still here. And then the last one is that question of all police officers must at all times ensure that the rights of the suspects are respected. That is our standard operating procedures. For those who defeated away from that, then they must face the full wrath of the law. That is our position. That the officers, police officers must at all times respect the rights and freedoms of the people, whether they are suspects or not. I'm saying this because, Honorable Senator, police officers are at the forefront in the defense of the rights and freedoms of the people. So any officer who turns against that, he goes against the same law that he is supposed to protect. And they are, all of them, they are aware out there in all the stations, in all the deployment throughout the Republic, that the rights of suspects, the rights of the other Kenyans must be protected at all times. So as I have said, anyone who goes against that, then he must face the full wrath of the law. The questions from Honorable Senator Duro. Honorable Duro requested that I provide all the documentary evidences of the letters that the DIG did to the DCI. We have them, and I want to promise that by tomorrow, when we are attending the Committee of Senate, we will be having those documents with us. She did ask the same question, why does the police have to drive all the way from Homa Bay, the suspect from Homa Bay to Nairobi? That is, as I have answered there earlier, and the DCI is also going to give additional details on the same. The questions by Senator Abbas, Honorable Senator Abbas. Again, he was actually asking the same question, that there are several police stations along the line that the suspects was, driven from Homa Bay to Nairobi. There are many police stations along the line. So the question is, why is it that he could not be placed in any of these police stations along that transport corridor? My answer is, as earlier stated, that number one, the offense was committed in Nairobi, and that is actually the area of jurisdiction. That is basically the reason why the suspect was actually brought to Nairobi. Then there was also this question from Honorable Senator Haji, where he asked, why is it that the investigations could not be conducted elsewhere where the suspect was arrested? So the answer to that question is that the offense was again committed in Nairobi. That is the reason why the suspect was driven from Homa Bay to Nairobi. The last bit where Honorable Senator Newton, he asked, why is it that the investigations have been done so fast? So again, that is, as I have answered there earlier, and the DCI is also.
You are watching Glory Wonders TV.
Kongo missing amun eninye nei civi Glory Wonder TV. Glory Wonder TV inyorchini Star Time, ag inyorchini Co TV, ag inyorchini Free Trade. Ago kimiten Bank Africa. So jenge en Bank Africa inyoru Glory Wonder TV. Glory Wonder TV kugeteshet ni kukone Jehovah.
And then there's this question of since we're saying the well-being of suspects. That question, if you look at our occurrence book, it has got several columns. So even the weather. So we do indicate in that particular column, how is the suspect looking like? Even the weather, if it is raining, we say it is raining. If it is chilly, it is cold. So they are there, they are provided for in that occurrence book, Honorable Senator. So it is on that basis, after he also spoke with the spouse, it was also confirmed that he did confirm that I'm okay and I have arrived safely in Nairobi. So based on that, the OB recorder recorded the same in the occurrence book. And it is there actually to be seen by everybody. The last question from Honorable Senator Newton was again, why was Ojwang transported all the way from Homa Bay to Nairobi?
Yeah, you've already responded to
I have already responded.
This is the 10th time. Just pick a new one and you conclude IG so that we hear IPOD.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I'm already through with the questions. Thank you.
Just hold on IG. I think that few questions that you may have noted down. Just remind the IG of your question.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, you ask, and if you ask and you're not answered, so it's fair that we remind the IG the questions that have not been answered. When IG, I asked a very specific question on the events of the 5th of June. That was a very specific question, and I don't want to repeat the question. I'm sure it has rung back in your mind that I said that on the 5th of June, so much happened, and the officers were in Kisii by 12:55. That question I had asked, and you have not answered. And finally, why you chose Bagadia and not Kenyatta National Hospital? That was, yeah.
Honorable Methu, the IG responded to that question. You know, I think what you need is the second limb of Senator Methu's question, is that the time computation does not add up. What do you say to that?
For that one, Honorable Speaker, the DCI have got a unit that deals with serious crimes. And in that, every continuing investigations. So that's the reason why you find that once it has been confirmed, for example, by the CAK, has been confirmed by the ESC, by everybody. The last question from Honorable Senator Nyutu was again, why was Ojwang transported all the way from Homa Bay to Nairobi?
Yeah, you've already responded to
I have already responded.
This is the 10th time. Just pick a new one and you conclude IG so that we hear IPOA.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I'm already through with the questions. Thank you.
Just hold on IG. I think that few questions that you may have noted down. Just remind the IG of your question.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, you ask, and if you ask and you're not answered, so it's fair that we remind the IG the questions that have not been answered. When IG, I asked a very specific question on the events of the 5th of June. That was a very specific question, and I don't want to repeat the question. I'm sure it has rung back in your mind that I said that on the 5th of June, so much happened, and the officers were in Kisii by 12:55. That question I had asked, and you have not answered. And finally, why you chose Bagadia and not Kenyatta National Hospital? That was, yeah.
Honorable Methu, the IG responded to that question. You know, I think what you need is the second limb of Senator Methu's question, is that the time computation does not add up. What do you say to that?
For that one, Honorable Speaker, the DCI have got a unit that deals with serious crimes. And in that unit, although he is going to give details on that one, in that unit, he has those who record the statements, those who are investigating on other bits of, every continuing investigations. So that's the reason why you find that once it has been confirmed, for example, by the CAK, has been confirmed by the EACC, then there is this team that moves immediately and effects, for example, the arrest. And so that is basically the reason why you find that it is really not the same team that is seated at the DCI there that is doing all that, but it is one unit. So the information is passed to the other teams that are there.
Honorable Methu, I think he has passed the buck to IPOA and DCI. Exactly. So wait until DCI or IPOA, then they may be able to take that. So, honorable senators, let us now have IPOA take the stand. Senator Haji, you will. We still have all the witnesses around, you will. Exactly. Proceed, Senator Haji.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is an unusual sitting. It is sort of like a special sitting, an extraordinary sitting. The rules are not very clear, Mr. Speaker, and I would really wish that you would make a ruling so that we can proceed with speed and conclude in time. Mr. Speaker, if you allow everybody to ask a supplementary question, we will be here for a very long time. And we are not here, Mr. Speaker, as far as my understanding,
Na mpenzi mtazamaji, hayo ni mazungumzo ambayo yanaendelea hivi sasa katika bunge la Seneti kuhusiana na kifo tata cha mwanablogi huyo Albert Ojwang. Na mpenzi mtazamaji, karibu katika Glory Wonders TV alasiri hii. Tuna mengi ambayo tumekuandalia. Mimi ni Alan Yegon, na katika habari ambayo tumeipa kipaumbele hii leo, waziri wa usalama Kipchumba Murkomen na Inspector General wa polisi Douglas Karanja wamefika mbele ya Seneti kujibu maswali kuhusiana na kifo cha mwanablogu Albert Ojwang.
The chairperson shall be directed by motion to report to the Senate. Mr. Speaker, you are the one, and of course, I believe in your capacity and ability to chair, but my only concern, I know we can establish traditions and precedents, that our standing order under 183 directs that the chairperson of the committee of the whole will be directed by the motion of the Senate to be prepared. So my question, would it be you or the chairperson of national security, so that you are the neutral arbiter, so that when the motion will be moved with the...
I, Onesimus Kipchumba Murkomen, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before the Senate in respect of the matters before the Senate, this committee, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
I, Douglas Kanja, the Inspector General, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before the Senate in respect of the matters before the Senate committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So
kwingineko, serikali imetakiwa kutenga fedha zaidi za kununua dawa muhimu ya HIV ili kuzuia kusambaza kwa virusi kutokana kwa mama hadi kwa mtoto. Hii inafuatia ukosefu wa dawa aina ya Nevarin inayotumiwa pakubwa kuzuia maambukizi hayo. Sekta ya afya ilipata pigo baada ya serikali ya Marekani kusitisha ufadhili wa miradi dhidi ya HIV.
Is out of stock, but we still have got other preventive medications like Zidovudine, which are still being provided to our mothers, Septrin, which are still being provided to our mothers, to be able just to make sure that the lives of these HIV-exposed infants is still going on the way it's supposed to go on.
Going into the future, we don't necessarily have to entirely depend on donors, entirely depend, on outsiders and foreigners. I think we need also to start integrating on how we can actually start becoming dependent and actually...
Kwingineko, familia moja katika kijiji cha Shipala Cheroban katika kaunti ya Kakamega inaomba msaada kwa zaidi ya shilingi 290 ili kulipia deni la kuweka mwili wa mpendwa wao ambao imezuiliwa na usimamizi wa hospitali wa St. Elizabeth baada ya kukosa hela ya kumchukua mtoto wao na kumweka katika pahala pa kupumzika.
Fanya harambee tukapata karibu shilingi 21,000 na 21,000 haina kitu inaweza kufanya. Tuna hata kitu kitoka, hata hiyo 20,000 watoto walikulia kwa sababu hii familia ni maskini, haina chochote. Waliendelea kutoa 1,200 wakinunua chakula na ikaisha tena.
Unajua sisi Waluya, mtu yako akiwa huko nje, hata kama amekufia Uganda, huwa tunafanya juu na chini tuhakikishe tumeirudisha kwa boma.
Nirudie hii familia, na tukishazika marehemu pia familia inafaa ishikwe mkono.
Amekufia huko, moja ritune vitu zingine tena. Unaenda tu huko nasikia imefika huko. Hata umeokopa kuenda ujue, ukienda kila siku mtu anakuambia umekuja kutoa.
Familia moja kutoka eneo la Mosop pamoja na wanaharakati wa haki katika kaunti ya Nandi wamejitokeza kulalamikia hali ya usalama katika baadhi ya hospitali za umma kwenye kaunti hiyo. Hii ni baada ya mtoto wa siku 4 kupotea katika hali ya kutatanisha. Inasemeka kwamba mama yake mtoto huyo alifika katika hospitali ya rufaa ya Kapsabet kujifungua, lakini alipokuwa akitayarisha kurudi nyumbani baada ya kujifungua hakumuona mwanawe tena.
Mimi nakwambia pea mama mtoto, nikakataa. Alafu daktari akaambia mimi pea yeye, alafu twende turudi huko nyuma uchukue dawa. Nikafanya bila hiyo daktari ananiambia. Tukarudi na yeye. Haya hapo kwa mlango gate mahali Hochman iko. Nikaenda kusimama hapo. Hii daktari akaambia mimi, unachua mali ya dawa utaweza kwenda kuchukua. Nikaambia yeye andika. Akaandika mimi kweli dawa. Akapeleka mimi akaambia mimi pita nje. Nikapita nje ya chini. Nikaenda kwa dirisha nikaleta dawa. Kurudi hakuna mtoto. Wa jamaa, mtoto wangu ameibwa. Nikafuata mimi naenda stendi. Hakuna mtu. Narudi hakuna mtu.
Gogo alipiga nduru, nikasikia uchungu sana. Tulijaribu kutafuta mtoto lakini tu kuona mahali mtoto alipitia.
Elekeza kwamba kuna systemic problem kwa upande.
Tuelekee katika kaunti ya Machakos ambapo mgogoro unaendelea kutoka katika bunge la kaunti hiyo ya Machakos baada ya polisi kutumia vitoza machozi kuwasambaza waandamanaji waliokuwa wakilazimishwa kurejesha kwa baadhi ya wawakilishi wadi waliosimamishwa kuhudumu.
Who are you? Let us be calm first. We can come forward. I'll get in this assembly. I want to represent my people. My people of Katangi are waiting for me.
Nikiwa hapo ndani nimechukuliwa na Sergeant at Arms. Wakiongozwa na Kiptum. Sasa wananibeba juu wananipiga. Wakakuja nikaresist wakanibeba juu wananipiga. Wakaninulia maguo zote. Wakakuja kwa gate. Wakanifinya na mguu hapa.
The speaker is using illegal orders to send us home. We were sent here by the people, by the representative of the people. Hatutakubali.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, kufikia hapo tumefika katika kikomo cha taarifa ya alasiri. Baada ya hapa tunarudi kwenye bunge la Seneti ili kupata mazungumzo hayo kuhusu kifo cha Albert Ojwang. Nimekuwa mwanahabari wenu Alan Yegon.
Jurisdictions, save for those courts that do have or enjoy inherent jurisdictions. For this particular matter, Your Honorable Speaker, the offense we believe was committed in Nairobi, but the arrest was done in Homa Bay County, and that's why the deceased had to be driven all the way from Homa Bay to Nairobi. You may also wish to note that offenses of cybercrime, Honorable Speaker, have a national jurisdiction, as there's no way of justifying the place it has been perpetrated. It is an offense that can be committed even when somebody is on a journey. So it has a national jurisdiction. Senator Kalwale alluded to the fact that we did not have a court order. And I would like to state very clearly, Honorable Speaker, that we do not require a court order to move a suspect from one police jurisdiction to another police jurisdiction. We don't require a court order. For this, for the deceased, he was booked at Mawega police station, that is Homa Bay, and booked out at 16:00 hours. And he was booked at Central Police Station 21:32 hours. There was an allegation that why we could not provide the CCTVs at the DCI offices in Mawega. I wish to confirm that we don't have a DCI offices in Mawega. It is a recently elevated police station from a police post, and we don't have the presence of a CCTV there. I further wish to confirm, Honorable Speaker, that the deceased was treated with utmost humility throughout the journey, all the way from Homa Bay to Nairobi by the arresting officers. Indeed, while at Narok, he asked for refreshments, and he was given some refreshments by the arresting officers. Like I said, Honorable Speaker, he was booked at Central Police Station at 21:32. At 21:24, the deceased was given an opportunity while at Central Police Station to talk to his wife. One Nefnin Apondi, on cell phone number 075808161, registered under one George Onyango, who apparently was the father. The vehicle that was used to ferry the deceased from Homa Bay County to Nairobi was a DCI vehicle, GKC519B Subaru Forester. And I can confirm, Honorable Speaker, without any fear of contradiction, that from Homa Bay, the suspect was driven straight to Central Police Station and nowhere else. And for this, we can technically confirm even the movement of the Subaru vehicle by using the GPS system. Some members were alluding to the fact that maybe the suspect was taken to DCI headquarters. And nothing can be far from the truth. From Homa Bay, he was taken straight to Central Police Station, where he was booked in the cells. And the actual booking, the digital booking, was done by the report office personnel. That vied OB 136-76-2025 at 21:32, and it says that the suspect was placed in cells while appearing normal. And that was captured digitally. So there's no room for human manipulation. It has further been confirmed that before the booking, the report office personnel called the OCS. And it's unfortunate, it is being said that Talam, Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker, is the OCS and not the OSPD. That he declined to book the suspect. Talam is the officer commanding Central Police Station. And from the totality of things, he should be treated as a prime suspect in the matter. So, a question was raised about the whereabouts of the DCI arresting officers. Honorable Chair, I would like to first state that the fact in issue here is what caused and who caused the death of the late Albert Ojwang. We are not talking about the circumstances that led to his arrest from Bungoma, from Homa Bay, Honorable Chair. The arrest was legitimate and it was lawful. and he was arrested for legitimate reasons in view of the complaint and the subsequent revelations by our investigations. So, we know where the DCI officers are. They are actively on duty, Honorable Speaker, and they are available if required by IPOA for interrogation, for interview. And Honorable Speaker, if the investigation establishes that they participated in the killing of the deceased, then the law should take its course and suitable action be taken against them. In regard to one Kevin Moinde who was arrested and detained at Kamukunji police station, the Inspector General has very, very well elucidated that it is true he was arrested, and we forwarded the file to the DPP, who said that we did not cover certain points. And on the basis of that, he was released unconditionally until such a time when we cover some of the points raised by the ODPP. In regard to the other two, we did not arrest them. We don't know where they are, and we cannot confirm whether they are dead or alive, because these are characters we have never interacted with them at all. Honorable Speaker, it is true that the ECC confirmed the same day that our officers were in Homa Bay. When we are conducting investigations, Honorable Speaker, we task this division of labor. We give the teams specific tasks. We have the action teams. We have the teams that do the interviews, the interrogations, the writing of the correspondences, the compilation of the file. So it is not the same team that collected the correspondence from ACC, the same team that arrested the suspect from Homa Bay. And then finally, there was the aspect of the who deleted the social media account. Honorable Speaker, this issue came after the fact of the murder, and we got this in the social media. And I believe in their investigations, because we are not the ones having the conduct of the investigations. This should be an area that should interest the EPOA team to find out, besides other issues, who actually deleted the social media account and why and when. I think those are issues that can be sufficiently addressed by the EPOA investigations. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, I want to rest my submission there unless there's another question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, IG. Just before you take your seat, the question as to why the young man was arrested in Homa Bay, not charged in Homa Bay, but transferred all the way to Nairobi, was asked to the IG. His response was that the crime was committed in Nairobi. That was the response of the IG. The same questions was directed to you, DCI, and this was your response, that the crime under the Cyber Crime Act is a crime of a national jurisdiction, meaning it can be tried anywhere. If indeed that is the case, having arrested this young man in Homa Bay with a crime of national jurisdiction, why was he brought to Nairobi?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. When we are making the decision to determine where to take a suspect, there are several variables that we consider. One is the logistics and the investigation convenience. If we say that we take him to a court in Homa Bay, and all majority of the witnesses are in Nairobi, the forensic lab evidence is in Nairobi, the complainant is in Nairobi. So because of that, and because of the logistic reasons, that's why sometimes we find it more convenient to have the suspect charged here in Nairobi instead of wasting a lot of resources going to Homa Bay. And that is provided for in our service standing orders, Honorable Speaker.
Let's hear IPOA. You may take your seat, DCI.
The OB indicates that he was booked in as of good health. We also have the statements from the 5 arresting officers, the DCI officers, who alleged that he spoke to the wife before he was booked in. And in regard to that, we have written to Safaricom to be able to obtain the call log to verify whether it's true he spoke to the wife at the same time. And also, once we have the family statements, which are meant to be taken tomorrow, the same indication will come out clearly. The other thing that would have shown his condition clearly, Chair, is the CCTV, which in our report we have indicated was tampered with. And from the forensic report, the forensic experts that we have at the authority, it's very clear that the CCTV was working, because the first thing the forensic expert and the investigating officer noted when they got into Central Police was that the power was not connected to the power cable of the CCTV was not connected to the socket. But on connecting it, the CCTV came back. But on trying to review the previous day's events, there was nothing. So it is very clear that the CCTV was tampered with, and we have referred the same to an expert to be able to retrieve the data. And on whether the retrieval will be successful will depend on if it was the hard disk that was removed or was just it was just erased. So we are waiting for that, Honorable Speaker. There was also a question on the police stations which have CCTV. On the judgment of one Judge Ogola, he gave recommendations to us and also to the IG on the importance of having CCTVs at the cells, and we are pursuing that. And there was also a recommendation from, I think, LSK on the same. So we are pursuing that, and we have also done inspections and written recommendations to the IG on that. And I want to commend the IG because during his interrogation for the job, he spoke of the importance of having officers having body cams as they do their work. This would also be an avenue where we would have seen what really transpired. So I believe these are some of the reviews and some of the reforms that we would want to see NPS taking up. The other question was on the officers who are interdicted, what we are doing about them as an authority. And I had indicated in my report that the 6 officers were to report today for statement writing at the authority headquarters. And during lunchtime, I've confirmed they have reported and their statements were being taken. 8 of them, including the OCS, had already taken the statements. So of the 6, the authority saw 9 more 11 more being persons of interest who are officers who are also around in the central police station, and they lost all the reports ready, given that we have around 4 or 5 things that we need to conclude. And Honorable Chair, we had given, we had a bill in front of this House through JILAC, that is Honorable Sigei's committee, on powers to arrest and prosecute. There was a question on why the officers have not been arrested. So these are still powers that we are seeking as an authority, because if given these powers, we'll be able to arrest and also prosecute immediately we are done with our investigation. And Honorable Speaker, we are committed. As the CS said, nobody is above the law. Our act as IPOA gives us mandate and powers to summon anyone, including the IG, for statement taking. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Let us hear from the National Police Service Commission. Let him say for the record.
Thank you, Speaker. I don't think there was a question directed to the National Police Service Commission, but I just want to say two things. On the issue that has been alluded by the CS Interior and even the IG himself, we have had situations where the IG wants to do promotions, but officers have not undertaken the requisite career progression courses. And when the CS says there is more need to try and pool resources so that these trainings can be facilitated. And finally, that we are in discussions. It's the National Police Service Commissions which approves the curriculum, and therefore with all the other stakeholders, once it is developed, then it is the mandate of the Commission to approve that curriculum if there are new changes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Now, once Senator Sige, you have the floor, you will seek that and ask your question, because you are doing the second round of questions. Now, honorable senators, if you can be direct to the questions, we'll save a lot of time. I am persuaded to put a time within which to ask your question. So within a maximum of 3 minutes. A maximum of 3 minutes. If you want to make a speech, you'll need 5. But if you need to ask clarification, 3 should be enough. Senator Ali Roba. Senator Ali Roba.
Thank you very much.
Senator Ali Roba, just take your seat. I remember that Senator Nyutu had not concluded when we adjourned. So conclude.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll take under 1 minute. I was stood down by the point of order by Majority Leader. And my last question actually was to IPOA. And I wanted to ask them how safe they are investigating people who have power to arrest and carry firearms. And Mr. Speaker, because I say this because Lawyer Willie Kimani was doing exactly what IPOA does, and he lost his life. So what is the security guarantee for IPOA? And DIG did not get my question, Mr. Speaker. He's saying that I claimed that investigation about this death has been speedy. I was talking about investigation about the claim made by DIG Lagat. It was speeded up. That is what I meant. And finally, to CS Murkomen, he said, he quoted 245. Why we are demanding that DIG Lagat steps aside, it is because he is a police officer and this matter revolves around him. So you cannot liken this to a complaint that is made by a senator or somebody else. This is a police officer who can interfere and who can command even people, the officers that are investigating. So it needs to be made clear. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Crystal Asige.
That's very brilliant.
Thank you, Speaker. The clarification that I sought, which is not part of my 3 minutes, I hope, Speaker, was that the question was asked of whether Albert Ojwang was alone or with others in the cell. And the IG said that that would be answered by the DCI and or IPOA, and neither of them answered that question. So that was the clarification that I was seeking. And it was further highlighted by Senator Mandago, who said that there is a detainee witness statement that IPOA took that would probably shed light on whether he was alone or with others. That is the clarification. My first question, Speaker. Who issued, this is to DCI, who issued the orders for Albert to be driven from Homa Bay all the way to Nairobi? I would like to know who issued the particular instruction for that to happen and not to process him in Homa Bay. Next, the DIG personally, we have been informed, recorded a complaint. And who took down that complaint? I would like to know from the DCI as well. And who else recorded a statement in support of the allegations made by the DIG? That is also to DCI. Next is to the IG. I know that the IG Speaker already has said that many of the questions will be answered or will be revealed once investigations are complete, but this one perhaps he can answer directly. This is to the IG. You said in your first media brief that the cause of death was that he hit his head on the wall, Albert. And you've just clarified that that was wrong information given to you by the primary report by an officer. Who was this officer who gave you this false information that you then issued in your first media briefing that misled the country as of the cause of death? That is what I want to know. And the reason I ask this is because if someone saw and alleged that he had repeatedly hit his head on the walls.
Senator Tobiko. Okay, Senator Asige, don't worry, I'll take care of that. Just have your seat. Senator Tobiko.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'll be very brief because a number of questions that I had have already been answered in the process. Mr. Speaker, because the DCI said the crime was perpetrated in Nairobi, that's why the suspect was brought to Nairobi. Yet cybercrime, social media, including X-Space, is not necessarily domiciled in Nairobi. It is still baffles, Mr. Speaker, why the suspect was brought to Nairobi. But now that that happened, and he seems to have paid for his crime through his life. What then, Mr. Speaker, will be the recourse for a murder of this young man who has been murdered by the police? What will then be, the recourse for the family and for Kenyans in general, Mr. Speaker? Because there seems to be a crime on top of another crime, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I had also wanted, but the lady from IPOA has responded, I had wanted